There are people whom nature has endowed with some kind of anomaly when it comes to long hair or phenomenal memory. This can be considered an advantage, but there are other unusual deviations from the norm. There are people who take their bodies so seriously that they try to break or set records, while others are given it without any effort. This is where 15 world records of people with the largest body parts were chased. Number 15. The baby with two faces, the family of the baby dubbed the mask face, has accumulated money which gave their child a normal life through surgery. Kang Kang was a 15-month-old baby from China's Hunan province who was born with a rare disorder wearing a mask that was a second face. Doctors in China were not sure what caused Kang Kang to be born with such a disfigurement, but said that it could have occurred due to a disease or maybe even a medication the mother took before pregnancy. The deformity is so rare it's difficult to pinpoint the exact cause. It's different from a cleft lip or a cleft palate. It's a facial cleft. His face muscles are cleft, but the inside bones are also cleft. The deformity is now known as a face horizontal cleft. The mother said the pregnancy was normal and according to all test results did not show any problems with the baby. Doctors who have seen Kang Kang have said that the baby is completely normal, other than its facial deformity. The surgery costs almost $100,000. They will have to reconstruct the facial bones of the baby, and officials have warned that the results of the operation are unpredictable. Number 14. Cassandra Bankson is an American model and online personality from San Francisco. She's been featured on Good Morning America, The Today Show, and The Anderson Cooper Show, as well as other international television shows. She's been featured in a ton of magazines as well. She was raised in the San Francisco Bay Area, where she was young, she developed a strain of acne vulgaris. Eventually, her severe skin condition had progressed to the extent that it engulfed her entire face and most of her body. She was bullied relentlessly for severe acne and was eventually pulled out of school. As a result, she's since been sent to a private tutor to complete her education, probably for the best. By the way, just so you know, public education is __. Along with her skin condition, she also has 2 vaginas and 2 cervixes. Yes, she has 2 sets of reproductive organs. In 2010, she began making videos on YouTube that were makeup videos, fashion videos, and lifestyle videos. She's still here today. Recently this year, she came out as a lesbian, which is not ironic. I wouldn't say tragic, but it's somewhere in between the two. I don't mean that as a judgment. I mean, in the way the universe works and that comets strike planets, and that right now outside it is exactly 26 degrees. It is truthfully ironic. I don't know what the word is. She has fewer subscribers than us, but she'll probably be around a lot longer. Number 13. The man with 2 penises, known online as Double Dick Dude, has 2 penises. Oops, I said the whole thing already. As far as I know, that's his entire career. Not much to talk about, but a lot to chew on. Ha 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 ha. Number 12. Deepak Paswan is a young boy who was also born with 8 limbs. He was also venerated as a god in India and has undergone an operation to give him a chance at a normal life. In 2010, when he was 7 years old, it was discovered he was born with a parasitic twin joined to his abdomen. I mean, discovered by us Westerners. I'm sure he knew for a long time. It gave him 4 legs, 4 arms, and 1 head. Hindu pilgrims would visit his home in the northern state of Bihar to worship him as an incarnation of the god Vishnu. His family appealed to help pay for an operation to have the extra limbs removed. They were uncomfortable with the attention, and a hospital in the southern city of Bangalore offered to do the procedure for free. Was it the girl from Bihar? What the __ is in Bihar making these people? Whatever. I'm sure there's no problem there. India's great. A team of 15 doctors worked on Deepak's case, and after months of consultations, he went ahead and completed the surgery. He will now hopefully live a normal, long life. Number 11. Anne Boleyn. She was the Queen of England from 1533 to 1536 as the second wife of King Henry VIII. Henry's marriage to her and her subsequent execution by beheading made her a key figure in political and religious upheaval that was the start of the English Reformation. But who cares about that? She was a freak. Many legends and fantastic stories about her have survived over the centuries, like people seeing her ghost or that she was buried under a secret church, and so on and so forth. It's rumored that she had 6 fingers and 6 toes, or possibly even a third breast. Why? Well, it's hard to prove this. She certainly wasn't drawn with a third breast. However, that was the mark of a witch at the time, and she was a Tudor, and people didn't really like Tudors at the time, so it's assumed that it was kind of made up in order to make her look bad. The legend survived longer than cheated by a long mile. It wouldn't be so uncommon for her to have 6 fingers or 6 toes like we've seen before. It's a relatively common thing, and we all know nobles are inbred as hell. But a third breast? My God, that's just plain ridiculous. Who would have a third breast? The odds of having a third breast are so low, you'd have to be in the movie Total Recall. Number 10. The biggest chin. A Chinese man from Chengdu offers advertisers to buy space on his chin. It's not actually funny. Several large logos could boldly fit there. 47-year-old Chengdu, living in central China, shared that it all started with a small pimple on his chin 5 years ago. Now, the Chinese man can confidently be called the owner of the world's largest chin. As we mentioned earlier, Du is now trying to earn around £5,000 for an operation that will return him to a normal appearance. To achieve this, he offers sponsors of the operation to tattoo their advertisement on his chin, where it will stay until the operation. In life, he's a quite modest person. I don't show my chin to people not to shock them with my appearance. But without money, I won't be able to have this operation, so I'm ready to go to any lengths to get my face back, explained Chengdu. Number 9. The longest fingers on the hands. The proportions of a person's body depend not only on their parents, many factors influence it. The owner of the world's longest fingers is Leonid Stadnik. The length of his palm reaches 31 centimeters, although the usual length of a human palm is 24 centimeters. Leonid Stadnik, the man with the longest fingers, is recorded in the Guinness Book of Records twice, as the owner of the longest fingers and as the tallest person, with a height of 2 meters and 59 centimeters. However, in August 2014, the record holder passed away from a brain hemorrhage at the age of 44. Number 8. The largest ears in the world, gifted by nature, belong to Ukrainian resident, pensioner Sergei Malchonka. He can boast impressive sizes of his ear shells. The huge ears do not function well, as the pensioner uses a hearing aid. Today, Sergei Malchonka has no competitors, so he has been recognized as the owner of the world's largest ears. Number 7. The biggest palms in the world belong to a man named Hussein Bazad, residing in one of the cities in the UK. He gained worldwide fame due to his large palms. The length of a palm from the fingertips of the middle fingers to the wrist is 26 9/10 centimeters. Hussein Bazad of the UK became a record holder in April 2007. Craig, the chief editor of the Guinness World Records book and the person who measured Hussein Bazad, confirmed his status as the person with the largest palm in the world. He said, "From the moment I saw him, I noticed something special about him. He had such a bold, mischievous look that we couldn't help but be charmed by this man. He found joy in every person he met and drew inspiration for any task, finding it in various and very unusual things." Currently, the length of his palm is almost 30 centimeters. Hussein Bazad was recorded in the Guinness World Records book. For reference, the entire family of Hussein Bazad has normal palms. Number 6. The largest earlobe rings. Kayla Kivey, a body modification tattoo artist from the Hawaiian Islands, recently set a Guinness record for non-surgically inserted earlobe rings. Such body modifications, also known as tunnels, have circles with a diameter of 10.5 centimeters inserted into the earlobe. Through such a ring, you can easily pass your hand. In addition to the earlobes, Kayla has modified almost every part of his body. Silicone horns implanted on his forehead, stretched nostrils, tattooed face, inserted spikes, and bolts in threaded holes on his forehead. His tongue is split in two with dental floss. Kayla learned the art of body modification in Las Vegas and then returned to Hawaii to open his own business. Number 5. The longest tongue. Another nomination in the Guinness World Records book. The average human tongue length is approximately 5 centimeters, but this is far from the limit for the next record holders. Englishman Stephen Taylor holds the longest tongue, measuring 10 centimeters, an absolute record. The longest female tongue was observed in a resident of Hamburg, and a certain Ermela managed to extend her tongue by a whole 7 centimeters. It is these 7 centimeters that allowed her to take her place among the other record holders. Number 4. In the Guinness World Records book, it is recorded that the longest arms today belong to Sultan Koso, measuring 27.5 centimeters. In addition, the former Turkish basketball player is also one of the tallest people in the world. Until the age of 10, the young man was an ordinary child. However, as a result of a brain surgery where a tumor was removed, Sultan's pituitary gland was affected, leading to a growth disorder. The boy began growing rapidly, and by the age of 26, his height reached 246.5 centimeters. The main thing that upsets him is the inability to establish relationships with women, as they are unlikely to even reach his waist. Moreover, Sultan Koso's record-breaking long arms are not his only unique characteristic. Prior to Sultan, the record holder for arm length was Leonid Stadnik, who was featured in our previous issue. The cause of their extraordinary growth, including pituitary disorders, resulted in Sultan's height reaching 257 centimeters with hands measuring 31 centimeters. Number 3. The longest female beard in the world. By the way, before we move on to this point, write in the comments section which part of your body is the longest. It will be interesting to read your comments. And now, back to the beard. It is quite unusual to see vegetation on a woman's face, let alone when this growth develops into a full-grown beard. Vivian Wheeler's facial hair grew to such a state, not just a small beard of fluffy hair, but a long, thick beard. The length of Wheeler's silvery beard measures 28 centimeters, giving her the appearance of a real-life Santa Claus. Wheeler did not plan to grow a beard for herself. It happened because she suffers from a medical condition known as hypertrichosis. Eventually, she grew tired of shaving and stopped doing so in 1993, allowing her body to grow the beard she desired. Number 2. The world's largest feet belong to Menda Zallas, an Englishwoman who holds the record for having the biggest feet in the world. Every year, she surpasses her own record because her feet continue to grow. Today, the length of her soles measures 40 centimeters, and the circumference of her calves is 90 centimeters. Mendez's right foot is 13 centimeters shorter than her left, but they are not turned 180 degrees. Looking at her, it is clear that her legs are bigger than everything else, at least 3 times larger. Scientists have weighed her legs and they weigh 95 kilograms, despite her total weight being of interest at 127 kilograms. Doctors diagnosed her with leg disproportion in childhood, and no one could imagine she would live past a week. Today, Mendez is 36 years old, and with a lifelong optimistic attitude, she refuses to give up and fights her ailment with unconventional methods. Doctors have suggested amputating her legs to solve a series of problems, but Mendez is not satisfied with this option. Number 1. The longest neck in the world belongs to an ordinary person with 6 to 7 vertebrae instead of the usual 10. According to the boy's father, this rare defect is the reason why the teenager has the longest neck in the world. The extra vertebrae put pressure on the nerves in his neck, making it very difficult for the boy to walk. Psychologically, it is also challenging for Fu, as he attracts people's stares everywhere he goes. Diagnosed with scoliosis and an anomalous position of the rib cage at the age of 6, Fu has a congenital scoliosis characterized by a spinal deformity related to improperly formed vertebrae. This condition develops during the early stages of fetal development in the first 6 weeks. Possibly, scoliosis is also the reason for the boy having the longest neck in the world. Now, Fu faces a complex operation to remove the extra vertebrae, which will allow him to have a normal neck. For a long time, Fu's family in China could not afford to pay for surgeon services, but charitable foundations from Beijing came to their aid, agreeing to cover the operation at a hospital called Chaya. The generosity of the fund is appreciated, as it will help Fu return to a normal life and no longer be known as the world record holder for the longest neck, a title the boy does not want, like if you found it interesting. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to not miss the most interesting world's top rankings. Check out some of our previous releases as well. Thank you for watching.